Alrighty, hey guys, we're getting back into this. So yeah, we're continuing off from where we left last time, I guess. So yeah, after Ageha and I went our separate ways, I did the shopping for dinner on the way back. It's gonna be hot again tomorrow, so I have to give them some food that will give them stamina. Enthusiastically, I put the menu together. So yeah, in my head. Put the menu together in my head. Oh no, I forgot to buy milk. There was a convenience store right in front of me. 5 years ago, there was a tobacconist here. However you say that word. It's a little expensive, but I don't have time to go back to the supermarket. I thought to myself. What's coterie? The automatic doors opened, and the one with the self-proclaimed cool allure left the shop. She had a bag on her lap and had a smile on her face, which was the exact opposite of cool. Didn't notice me and went back in the direction of the dormitory. It's her. She didn't go to school, so what is she doing? Gave up on buying the milk and followed Coterie. When she got back to the dormitory, Coterie opened the front door just slightly. Called Hat from the other side of the door and spoke to him about something. She was sneaking around and seemed really suspicious. Is she talking about me? This is a girls' dormitory, so I'm the only boy here. I don't remember being mean, though. I don't know why, but it would appear that she is sneaking around to avoid being found by me. If that's how you feel, I headed for the back door to the dormitory. I'll hide in the kitchen for now. Shh. If this is about me, tell her I'm not here. I doubt that he got the message, but wiggled his butt as he left the dining hall and headed for the entrance. While I'm waiting in ambush, I'll put the food I bought in the fridge. After a little while, when Coterie came into the dining hall, she went straight for the cupboard and took out a spoon. Without taking out a dish, she stayed seated in her wheelchair. Put the shopping bag from the convenience store on the table. Inside was Haagen-Dazs. Needless to say, it was top quality ice cream. Not only that, but it was family size. It's the big pot that cost 2,500 yen. She opened the lid, and in her right hand, she had the type of spoon that you'd eat things like curry with. Coterie's spoon was still above the smooth surface of the Haagen-Dazs. Then she dug a big hole in it. One scoop like that would be about 100 yen, and she stuffed the whole thing in her in one mouthful. She brought her hand to her cheek as though she was flooded with happiness from the bottom of her heart. What is she doing? Seeing what she was doing made hiding and watching her seem pretty ridiculous. Not knowing I was watching, Kotri began to shovel in more ice cream like a construction machine. Even if it was only 105 yen ice cream, you'd savor the flavor more than that. With the next mouthful of ice cream, Kotri suddenly lowered her head, holding her temples. So she got a brain freeze. To be able to get brain freeze from eating too much Haagen-Dazs is the very height of luxury. During this little pause, Kotri opened up her notebook. There is something written in there. I sneak up a little closer behind her. Shh. Next to the words, eat as much Haagen-Dazs as I want. Kotri happily wrote the word done. Seemed to be some sort of list. Things I want to do. That was the title, and there were bullet points below. Stroke the head of the big dog at the neighborhood. It's really scary, but it might be unexpectedly friendly. If possible, I'd like to ride around on its back. Fill the bath with water and swim in it like a pool. Pie throwing, and so on. Among those was go and see the windmill hill, with done written next to it. What is this? Whoa. Koteri's scream pierced right from my right ear to out of my left. I was here before you were. Her mouth was open in shock as she looked at Hat. Well, I guess it's no good sending a duck to scout the place out. Even if he was able to completely grasp what his responsibility was, there's no way he could convey the message. Kotri seemed ashamed and looked away. I'm sorry I surprised you. I'm here, or you were sneaking around, so I wondered what you were doing. I didn't mean to spoil her personal enjoyment. Went back to the kitchen to get things ready for dinner. Koteri's face seemed to say, now it only tastes half as good, and she sulkily ate the ice cream. Why are you taking time off school? Yeah, sure. She's blatantly lying. It's someone who has caught a cold be eating ice cream. I'm the dorm mother, you know. I have to make sure the boarding students have the right kind of lifestyle. Swoosh, she went to the trouble of turning around so that she could point at me. If you want to call me dorm father, then that's fine by me. Kotori turned back around and went back to enjoying her ice cream. If you weren't at school, then where were you? I softened my tone a little as I asked her. Did you go back to the Windmill Hill? Ignoring me and eating her ice cream. It has got something to do with me. I don't mean that. Yesterday, if I hadn't been passing by, where would you be right now? If you're not careful in a place like that, then maybe nobody would have come. You can't move your wheelchair. What would you have done by yourself? Do you still think it's got nothing to do with me? I'm not accusing her of anything. That's why I tried to speak as gently as possible as to not sound harsh. However, I showed her that how serious I was. Where is the salamander? Are you proud of that? If you think that people would be happy because it's so rare, you're severely mistaken. Coterie seemed daunted by this sound argument, put down the spoon and started thinking seriously. No, I don't. Sound a little mean. I sounded a little mean, so Coterie came tearful all of a sudden. Her cheeks were quivering as she desperately tried to hold back the tears. Hey, I'm sorry. I was joking. Don't make that face. That's right. See, you're fine. Hat quacked as though he was trying to cheer Coterie up. I wouldn't tell you to say thank you, would I? It's just that if you go out without telling anyone where you're going, it's kind of dangerous, you know? She wiped the corner of her eyes a little with her finger. Don't want to understand. Somehow that's what the look on her face said. Put the spoon down and, well, I missed that. Where are you going? Okay, there we go. Look on her face said she put the spoon down and went to leave the dining hall. Okay, that's what said. She closed the notebook and put it on her lap. Then a piece of paper fell from the notebook. You dropped something. Coterie looked as though she hadn't heard and left the dining hall. Hat went after her. As the sound of the wheelchair grew farther away, I let out a big sigh. Maybe I said too much. It's just that I really was worried about her. I don't know anything about what's going on with Coterie, so perhaps I was unnecessarily interfering. Wait. Speaking of which, she was wearing her uniform. However, she was wearing her own clothes yesterday when she went to Windmill Hill. Could it be that she was actually planning on going to school? That's possible, isn't it? As I thought of that, I felt my mood lightening her mood lightened a little, and I picked up the piece of paper that she had dropped. Huh? For a moment, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was a notice for withdrawal from school. Well, that's something. I was depressed while I was cleaning up after dinner, and Kaneko came to comfort me. Why? Why did everyone leave so much uneaten? Ouch. Didn't eat my food. For tonight's dinner, Kaneko was the only one who ate all of her food. Without exception, everyone else left some uneaten. Tomorrow I'll make even more tasty food, so tasty that no one will leave anything uneaten. I felt renewed determination, and then the duck came waddling into the dining hall. There's some vegetables left over. Right. Kaneko took the leftover vegetables and fed them to Hat. Is this duck her pet? Are you allowed to have pets here? Okay, not a pet. Senior Hat. Okay. So the owner must have been keeping him. Okay. It just appeared one day. That's interesting. Housemate. Kodri also called him a housemate. It's a mystery. Alright. Once she had finished feeding Hat, Kaneko, not Kodri, Kaneko got out of her seat. Don't go walking around in your underwear again, okay? No. Kaneko gave me a quick insult as she left the dining hall. Why does everyone have to insult me just before they leave? Felt a little hurt as I cleaned the dishes. Okay, Kotori's here. Peek. This time it was Kotori poking her head into the dining hall. It was almost as if she was waiting for Kaneko to leave before she came in. Doesn't seem to get along well with her, so maybe she really was waiting for her to leave. Thought she might have come to have dinner, but she appeared to be looking for something. Looking under the table. She went around the table once and then came past the counter in front of me. Positive. Kodori groaned while staring at my face as if she were trying to see if I was telling the truth. With a straight face, I wiped the dishes with a towel. With no way to check, she went to look elsewhere. I'll put your dinner in the fridge, heat it up in the microwave, and eat it later, okay? Couldn't help lying to her. Thing she was looking for was the withdrawal notice that I'd picked up. People were worried that if it carries on like this, she'll stop coming altogether. Looks like she's not really enjoying school. Yeah, Agaha's words crossed my mind. Looks like Kotari really is planning to drop out of school. What am I doing? Why didn't I give the withdrawal notice back to her? There I stood, not even really understanding those feelings myself. Alright. Extended the little thing. Alrighty then. Well, I guess here. Early in the morning, the doorbell chimed, so I went to open it, and there I saw Agaha. What are you doing here? She remarked as she saw me wearing an apron. Witch's Mansion. Agaha focused on the word student dormitory as if questioning their suitability as she gazed at the magnificent entrance. I was surprised too to think that I would become the caretaker of the place that we used to sneak into when we were kids. Why did you come here? Well, guessing that perhaps she had come to invite me to walk to school with her. She is, after all, my number one best friend. Hmm. Alright, Kotari. I was wrong, Miss Alul. Oh. Alright, yeah, Miss Alul. No, it's nothing. While blushing due to the misunderstanding, I looked back towards Kotari's room. Looks like she still hasn't woken up. Even if she gets up now, it takes her time eating breakfast. She can still make it with time to spare. Alrighty then. Hmm. There's still some left. You're joking, right? Only gave you a little bit. Yeah, that sounds like a lot. Oh, yeah, I guess. Kanako ate the whole thing again this morning though. How was the taste? Okay. Really? With good food, it tastes good no matter how much you eat. Yep. Hmm. Unrefined palate. A shock hit me like a bolt of lightning. I hung my head in dismay. The truth is, Agaha had revealed the reason why since yesterday the boarders hadn't been eating my cooking properly. I thought I'd ask her opinion, which is why I made Agaha some food and got her to eat it. Yeah. It was made from leftover ingredients anyway. Hmm. Cooking for girls is so difficult. Boy or girl, we're all human. Tasty is tasty. That's what I believed. Yeah. Just as I was seriously troubled by this, I heard the squeaking of turning wheels coming from down the hallway. First, Hat the duck came into the dining hall, then Coulter came after him. It's the opposite of usual. Coulter rubbed her sleepy eyes and started preparing Hat's food. It somehow looked as if the hungry Hat had woken her up. Well, not understanding her words, Hat quacks happily as Coterie speaks to him and eats his food. Coterie notices that Ageha is there and instantly opens her eyes. Oh, well. Coterie gave a and made another one of those straight faces she's so good at. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Coterie said with a straight face, then turned her wheelchair around. Just as she was about to leave, she stopped the wheelchair and turned around. Huh? Yeah, we're childhood friends. They're idiots. Alright then. Looks like she has even more of a bad attitude this morning. However, she did say she was going to go to school. After tidying up breakfast things, I left the dormitory with Ageha. On our way to school, somehow our conversation turned to Coterie. Is there a reason why Coterie stopped coming to school? Hmm. Hmm. That's so like Ageha to worry about that sort of thing. If there are any people who don't really fit into the group or are left out, she won't just ignore them. In the past, that's why I started to plan with Mabo. So it could have been for the same reason. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the vibe. Yeah, I can imagine that somehow. Hmm. Uh-huh. When I have reminded herself of what happened back then, she was wearily slouched forward. Wearily. Ageha is cheerful and has many friends. Kotori, who didn't respond to Ageha's concerns about her, might have been seen as the one in the wrong by those around them. Since then, she stopped coming to school. Ageha is waving her arms around like someone from a kung fu movie and passionately tells the story. Bleh. I decided not to ask her what kind of heroic deeds took place or for any specific details. Well, I didn't expect that. Even just by saying something in a slightly harsh way, she gets all tearful. The only reason I can think of is that it might be because it has full disabled access. In fact, that could be the main reason. Looking at Ageha from the side as she puts her hands behind her head and starts thinking things over, I remember the withdrawal notice that I picked up last night. On the spur of the moment, I decided not to give it back and acted like I knew nothing about it. Is she really planning to drop out? Somehow felt like I had picked up some heavy piece of lost property. Two of us both made troubled faces as we walked. Murmur. Quiet, strange commotion surrounded us. Most of the other students around us on their way to school were looking in the same direction. Over there was tall, slender, beautiful girl walking along. Oh, it's her. It was the girl I met in the garage. Everyone was looking at her with curiosity, but it seemed that she hadn't noticed that other people were looking at her. I was looking at her in the same way as everyone else, but Ageha took the way I was looking at her in the wrong way. Amane. Super repeat student. Wow. Is she that stupid? Doesn't look it, though. Genius. Teachers have nothing more to teach her. In fact, they sometimes go and learn from her. Cleverer than the teachers. Does our school really deal in such specialized fields? Super repeat. That's interesting. I don't know if she's a genius or not, but she definitely seems like a pretty weird person. Then abruptly, super repeat student Senior Amane, he stopped walking and looked at the sky. Everyone else mimicked her and looked up too. A jet plane flying through the blue sky, pulling its vapor trail along behind it. Everyone soon realized it was a plane and quickly lost interest and started walking again. However, Amane Mochizuki kept on standing there, looking up at the plane flying through the sky. When people came from behind and avoided her like she was in their way, she didn't pay any attention to them either. Sure. Right? Kotori arrived just as our morning homeroom class finished. Kotori went past the homeroom teacher, who seemed bewildered that she had come back to school after all of a sudden, then still in her wheelchair, arrived at her desk. The desk right in the front, was the only one that didn't have a chair. Everyone looked on, puzzled. So, yeah. Now that Kotori was in school, didn't mean to click that, but now that Kotori was in school, she started her cool allure routine again. She concentrated during the lessons and answered the teacher's questions easily when asked. Seemed like her grades in regular subjects are top class. During recess, she sat at her desk reading a book or going off somewhere. Didn't try to talk to anyone, and even if Ageha tried to speak to her, she acted like she hadn't noticed. The other girls in the class looked like they were worried about how they should treat her and watched her from a distance. During gym class, the way she looked on board left an impression on me. She always looked like she was all alone and didn't seem to be enjoying herself very much. Hey, Kotori. At lunchtime, I found Kotori carrying her bag about to leave the classroom and chased her down the hallway. It's lunchtime, you know. What are you doing? Whoa, or whoosh. Suddenly, Kotori dashed away at unbelievable speed. But hey, in the heat of the moment, I tried to chase her, but I thought I would bump into passing students as I was too slow to start moving. In the meantime, Kotori had already gotten inside the elevator. According to the school rules, most students are not allowed to use the elevator. It was only supposed to be used by workers or teachers carrying big loads or disabled students like Kotori. Even so, I chased after her only for the doors to close mercilessly in front of me. Through the glass, the one with the self-proclaimed cool allure stuck her tongue out and headed to the floor below as I stood and watched. You're not getting away. And so, yeah, chasing her around school, huh? I ran and made it to the school gates. She was holding her bag. Seemed like she was trying to leave early, so I went and cut her off. However, I can't deny the possibility that her lunch is in the bag. Maybe I got the wrong idea. If that's not it, then what would be the problem? I watched over the school gates like some guardian statue. Bam. I was crashed into by something in the back, in other words, from outside the school gate. Arg. What was that? I got up and felt like I was crawling out from under an avalanche. Then I saw a big cardboard box with a girl that had fallen over. Uh, are you okay? Hmm. Hmm. Oh. I looked at her and got up and. Yeah. I looked at her as I got up. Without thinking, I thought I was going to. Yeah, I thought I was going to say the super repeater student, but I held my tongue. I'm alright. As she says that, the super repeating super senior holds onto the big cardboard box. Oh, yep. She went to lift it up, but then Senior Amane Mochizuki slumped down exhausted. I'll help you carry it. Huh? It's so heavy. The big cardboard box is incredibly heavy. Come on, it's no big deal. I said as I went to pick it up anyway. Oh yeah. Is this okay here? I don't know what's in this. I don't know what's in it, but we put the heavy cardboard box on the floor. It's all right anyway, senior, if you're hungry. She was staring towards the inside of the garage. Senior? Find myself copying her and looking in the same direction. Inside was Kotari. What's she doing here? By the big thing placed in the center of the garage and is trying to lift a sheet to see what's underneath. Kotari is surprised when Amani speaks to her. Kotari seems intimidated and nods. Amane vigorously pulls back the sheet. Side is a white, streamlined aircraft. Kotari looked at it dazed. I say wow as I let a small surprise sound slip out. Wow. Mane nods and Kotari cautiously moved her head closer to the aircraft. Even in the dimly lit garage, the glider's white body had a glossy shine to it and faintly reflected Kotari's face. I moved toward it to take a closer look. Is this the one that we saw from the Windmill Hill? The smooth surface looked like it was made from plastic, however, it was hard to the touch. The wings had been removed, and for now, it was just a body. This is amazing. Yeah, I just realized we're here. We had started talking to each other at some point, but then finally realized who it was we were talking to. Hey you, why were you running away just now? She calmly ignored my question, but then hurriedly tries to escape, so I go ahead and block her. I won't let you get away. Why did you come here for? You're not here to eat lunch, are you? So you really was trying to leave early. Amane was listening carefully to our conversation. Hmm. Eaten. Amane was wolfing down a Napolitan pasta lunchbox, and Coterie and I both had a face that seemed to say, whoa, and looked on in amazement. Why would we say whoa? Oh. She didn't know that when she was eating ice cream like a crazy idiot, I had the same reaction when I was watching her. By the way, the thing that Amane was eating was the lunchbox that I had brought. As usual, the boarders hadn't eaten the breakfast I had made for them, so I packed it as my lunch. I made 2 lunchboxes. One was for me. As for the other one, I thought that if Coterie was going to go to school, she might have found it difficult at lunchtime, so I was worried about her and brought another lunchbox. That's why I was chasing her. If she didn't need it, I thought that I might eat them both myself, but she ran away before I could ask her. Asked Amane, although she'd already eaten most of it before asking. I've already eaten my one. Was hungry during the morning recess, so I had lunch early. Relieved to hear my answer, Amane continues to enjoy the cold Napolitan pasta. Didn't you have anything to eat after I saw you yesterday? I only gave her a piece of bread. Amane stopped moving her chopsticks and took a good look at my face. You seriously just realized? Hmm. She really is weird. Apparently. She looked at me with eyes that sparkled like a little kid's. If she were a dog, her tail would definitely be wagging like crazy. 70 hours. Like nearly 3 days. I counted on my fingers. There's 24 hours in a day. 3 days ago, yeah. 72 hours. That's why I know that. And counting. Uh-huh. She recalls this and her face looks like she's about to start drooling. Why don't you eat? Are you like on a diet? Hmm. Huh? Hmm. Amani replied with pride. I'd prefer if she didn't compare it to when people forget things because they're hungry. Are you doing that here? Soaring Club. Soaring Club? Wasn't familiar with that name. What's soaring? Hmm. Flying a glider by riding the rising air currents. Kinda get it, but on the other hand, I don't get it. So the aim of the club is to make and fly a glider. Hmm. So this garage is used for club activities after all. Even so, it's pretty spacious. Guess there's a logic there. Yeah, I have a feeling that's not what she's asking. However, Amani answered the question in all seriousness. Hold on a minute. Or hold on a moment, I said as Amani slurped up the last of the Napolitan and with extremely bad manners. Wiping around her mouth with a tissue, she started rummaging through a desk drawer. Peeking inside the drawer, somehow I get the impression that Amani is a typically disorganized person. Rather than things being put away, it was more like things were stuffed in. The thing that Amane had taken out of a paper airplane construction kit made using cardboard. Without thinking, Kotri and I looked at each other. Okay. Feel that manufacturing a glider and making a paper airplane are completely different things. But for now, I'll try doing as she says. Using glue and a craft knife, in about 10 minutes, we had finished the paper plane. All done. Mane takes the plane from Kotri. Yeah, or the plane that Kotri had made and takes a good look. She then threw it. Paper plane floated gently as it flew and landed near the wall on the other side of the garage. Kotri seemed embarrassed at being complimented. So yeah, lots of different types. True enough, I guess. Paper planes and jumbo jets are the same. Yeah. Broken down to the base level, they're the same. It's different scales, basically. Coder and I both tilted our heads in puzzlement. We both had a skeptical look on our faces. I can understand that a light paper airplane can fly by riding the wind, but hard to imagine that a giant hunk of metal can float in the sky on the same principle. There must be some other method that allows it to fly. Monty goes to pick up the paper airplane that she had just thrown. The size and the material? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Principles of flight, huh? Okay. Breaking it down. The wings, the body, tail, tailplane. When she puts it like that, I guess she's right. I never paid that much attention to it, though. Aerodynamics. Yeah, it has lift. Principles of aerodynamics. I look baffled again, and Amane smiles a little and rephrases it. Can just imagine the wings cutting the air like a knife, like a blade. Yep. Mane nods. Standing beside her, I am a little freaked out as she so easily comes out with a word like Bernoulli, or however you say it. What the hell is that? We didn't learn that at my school. Maybe. Air lifts the wings up. It's a phenomenon that's hard to suddenly imagine. That's Bernoulli's theorem. Monty nodded as if to say yes. Yeah. Getting a crash course in aerodynamics apparently now. As she explained, Monty is drawing a cross section on the wing. According to that, an airplane's wings are flat at the bottom, and the top is shaped like a mountain, so it seems like it is semicircular. Apparently, the air in the upper side flows along the raised, curved surface and then bends to flow downwards. As for the question of why the air flows along the raised surface, it can only be said that this is because of the nature of the air. Or so it would seem. Downforce. Oh, yeah. All the gravity, I think, is that one. Whew. The reaction lifts up the wing. Yep, gravity. Okay. Or, yeah, something like that. It's something like that. Same thing. Does that mean that when the wing drops in the air, the reaction causes it to float? Theoretically, that may be so, but I still couldn't imagine how enough lift to cause a several 100-ton airplane to take off could be created. However, airplanes do actually fly in the sky. I don't know if I understand or not. However, I understand that the main wings are the most important part. Okay, I think I'm gonna end this part here, so hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like it, share it, sub the channel, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.